Hola mis Wallis. ¿Cómo están? Este es un nuevo video de Wallet English generado con tecnología de inteligencia artificial y tecnología convencional pensado en ti. ¡Qué emocionante! Espero que lo disfrutes, que aprendas y que ganes mucho. No olvides darle un me gusta a nuestro video, compartir y suscribirte a nuestro canal.
Aprende inglés con historias o lecciones generadas tanto por nuestro equipo como con inteligencia artificial del ChatGPT y otros servidores de inteligencia artificial, pero siempre inspiradas en ideas de Wallet English. Aprende en 3 pasos. En el primer paso, ve el video sin subtítulos para entrenar tu oído, es el input del idioma al natural. En el segundo paso, ve el video activando los subtítulos. Pon pausa cuantas veces sea necesario. Toma notas del vocabulario y presta atención a la pronunciación. Repite las palabras. Practica. Esto se llama aprendizaje activo. En el tercer paso, vuelve a ver y escuchar el video sin subtítulos. Si es necesario, repite el paso 2. Notarás lo que has aprendido significativamente.
Lily, the girl who became a flower. Once upon a time, in a far-off land, there lived a girl named Lily. She was stubborn, disobedient, and rude to everyone around her. She would pull flowers from the ground, break branches off trees, and harm the creatures in the forest. Despite the warnings of her parents and the villagers, she continued her destructive ways. One day, as Lily was wandering through the forest, she came across a beautiful fairy named Blossom. At first, Lily was afraid and tried to run away, but Blossom quickly caught up to her. Blossom spoke in a gentle voice, "Don't be afraid, little one. I mean you no harm." Lily stopped running and looked up at the fairy with a mixture of fear and curiosity. "Who are you?" she asked. "I am Blossom, a fairy of the forest," the fairy replied. "And you are Lily, the one who has been mistreating nature." Lily was surprised that the fairy knew her name and her misdeeds. "How do you know about me?" she asked. "I have been watching you, Lily," Blossom explained. "I have seen how you pull flowers from the ground, break branches off trees, and harm the creatures in the forest. It's time for you to learn a lesson." Lily didn't understand what Blossom meant by a lesson, but she knew she didn't like the sound of it. "What do you mean?" she asked nervously. Blossom replied, "For your misdeeds, I will turn you into a flower. You will experience life from a different perspective, and perhaps then you will understand the importance of taking care of nature." Lily didn't like the idea of being turned into a flower, but she knew she deserved some sort of punishment. "Okay, I'll accept the punishment," she said reluctantly. And with a flick of her wand, Blossom turned Lily into a beautiful flower. As she looked down at her petals and felt the warmth of the sun on her leaves, Lily realized that she was seeing the forest from a completely different angle. As a flower, Lily encountered many creatures who wanted to destroy her, but she was saved each time by the kindness of other creatures. A butterfly, a bee, and a hummingbird all helped her in their unique ways. Lily realized that nature was full of creatures who cared for each other, and she felt ashamed of how she had treated them before. One day, an evil creature named Thorn came to the forest with the intention of destroying it. Thorn stood at the edge of the forest, looking out at the trees with a wicked smile on his face. He began to speak to himself, his voice echoing with an ominous tone. "Ha ha ha, foolish trees. You thought you were safe from me? You thought your little forest was immune to my power?" Thorn cackled with an evil laugh. "I will destroy you all, one by one, until there is nothing left but ash and rubble. The creatures who call you home will be left with nothing, and they will suffer the same fate as you," he continued. Thorn's eyes glinted with malice as he spoke. He reveled in the thought of causing destruction and chaos, relishing in the pain and suffering that he would cause. "But don't worry, I won't destroy you all at once. I'll make it slow and painful, so you can feel every moment of your demise. Thorn declared with a cruel smile. Thorn's laughter echoed through the forest, causing the creatures to tremble with fear. They knew that something wicked was coming, and they feared for their homes and their lives. Lily heard the loud and threatening voice coming from the distance, and immediately she knew she had to protect her home. Soon, this forest will be nothing but ash and rubble. I will destroy everything in my path. The voice bellowed. Lily shivered with fear as she realized it was the voice of Thorn, the evil creature who wanted to destroy the forest. She knew that she had to warn the other creatures and try to stop him. As she was making her way through the forest, she saw Thorn in the distance, his eyes glinting with malice as he surveyed his surroundings. Lily summoned all of her courage and spoke up. "Stop, Thorn! If you want to destroy the forest, you'll have to go through me first," Lily declared. Thorn turned to face the flower and laughed wickedly. "And who are you to tell me what I can and can't do, little flower?" he sneered. "I may be just a flower, but I understand the importance of nature and all that it provides," Lily replied firmly. "Please, don't destroy the forest. There are other ways to achieve what you want without causing destruction and suffering." Thorn's face twisted with anger. "I will not be stopped by a mere flower. You and your kind will be the first to go," he growled as he raised his arm to strike. Lily knew that Thorn was a dangerous creature, but she also knew that she had to protect the forest at all costs. "I will offer myself in exchange for the safety of the forest," Lily said, her voice unwavering. "Take me instead of destroying the forest." Thorn's eyes lit up with greed. What makes you so special, little flower?" he asked, intrigued. "I am not just any flower, Thorn. I am a magical flower. Once, I was a human girl who was turned into a flower by a fairy. I possess powers that you can only imagine," Lily explained. Thorn's eyes widened with interest. "A magical flower, you say? And you were once a human? Interesting," he mused. "Very well, I accept your offer. Give yourself to me and I will spare the forest." Lily closed her eyes and braced herself as Thorn reached out to pick her. But as he touched her petals, a beam of light shot out from the forest and struck Thorn, knocking him back several feet. It was Blossom, the fairy, who had come to Lily's aid. "Leave this forest at once, Thorn. Your wickedness will not be tolerated here," she commanded. Thorn scowled and reluctantly retreated back into the shadows. As he disappeared, Lily realized that she had learned a valuable lesson: the importance of standing up for what is right and protecting nature at all costs. Blossom was pleased with Lily's newfound love and understanding of nature. "Lily, you have proven your worth to the forest and all who live within it. Your bravery and selflessness have not gone unnoticed," Blossom said. Lily looked up at Blossom, unsure of what was to come. "What do you mean?" she asked. "I have decided to turn you back into a human," Blossom explained. "But first, I want you to understand why I turned you into a flower in the first place. You were disobedient and mistreated the natural world, and it was only through this transformation that you were able to learn the lessons you needed to become a true protector of the forest." Lily listened carefully as Blossom continued. "Now, you have proven that you understand the importance of nature and are willing to put the needs of the forest above your own desires. You have learned the lessons that were necessary for your growth and development." Blossom paused for a moment before continuing. "But it is time for you to return to your human form, so that you can continue to learn and grow in other ways. You have a great destiny ahead of you, Lily, and I know that you will continue to use your powers for the greater good." Lily nodded, understanding the reasoning behind Blossom's decision. "Thank you, Blossom. I promise to use my powers to protect the forest and all who call it home," she said. Blossom smiled warmly at Lily. "I have no doubt that you will, my dear. And remember, you will always have a special connection to the natural world, no matter what form you take," she said before waving her wand and turning Lily back into a human. As Lily looked around at the trees and creatures she had come to love, she knew that she would always protect and cherish the natural world, just as it had protected and nurtured her.